Good morning, everybody. Today we'll be learning a new topic called as the term derivative. So we all know the term derivative stands for the contract whose price is derived from or it is dependent upon the underlying asset or simply underlying. So we have such an underlying asset based on the asset is where the price is derived or the derivative where the derivative market plays a corrective role. The underlying asset of could be like a financial asset, like a currency. So stocks, market indices, the interest-bearing security, or any physical commodity. So, for example, any kind of commodity also can be wherein you're going to trade in future, or the type of contract that you're taking in, whether it's a forward contract, future contract, swaps. These kind of concepts we will be learning in detail. So today we'll be learning what is all about your derivatives, from which you're going to derive from the underlying asset, how you're going to derive. So what actually derivatives will take into consideration. Now, a derivative is a financial instrument whose value is um, derived from the value of an other asset, which is known as underlying. So basically, anything you take for the value that, for example, if you're taking gold, so the gold is one of the underlying asset. Based on this underlying asset, the value increases or decreases. Okay. Now we know day by day the gold rate is increasing. Why? Because there is a demand and supply. So what becomes your underlying asset? Your gold becomes your underlying asset. Okay. When the price of the underlying asset changes, the value of the derivative also change. The derivative is not a product. It is a contract that derives its value from the changing in price of an underlying asset. That is what I have given an example. The value of gold future contract is derived from the underlying asset called as gold. Now, I know after 4 to 5 days, when we are having 4 to 5 months, the gold rate can increase from 100 to 300 rupees. So I'm going to derive the value of the underlying asset. What will become your underlying asset? The underlying asset will be your gold. Okay. So this is how it works. Okay. So your underlying price changes, your derivative price changes. From the price is derived from the underlying asset. For example, I told you today I know I'm having an underlying asset as gold. After 4 to 5 months of trade, I know the value is increasing from 100 to 300. So what will happen? The change of derivative price also change. So when I'm wanting to sell my gold today, I will sell it for the future price. Okay, what would be the future price? Based on that, I will sell it today because I know the value of my underlying asset will increase in future. That is, there is where the derivatives play a role in this. Okay, it is a kind of a medium that is giving to trade. So why do you need derivatives? Transferring risk. Now I told you there is a change in the prices from the present to the future. So sometimes the prices can also decrease. So what you're doing is you're trying to reduce your risk at that point of time. For example, if you are selling a paddy or a rice or a wheat, something like this. Today the price might be per for 10 kgs, you're going to sell it for 200 rupees. So over a period of time, the demand decreases. What happened? You are agreeing to pay for 300 rupees for the present day. So what will happen future in case, even if it decreases, you're getting the amount of what you have been traded for today. So this is where your risk is getting transferred. Okay, discovering a future as well as your current prices. This is what I was trying to do. Future prices plus the current prices you're going to discover. So you're going to predict, or you know whether the predict is actually the right word we can tell. You're going to predict that will increase in future or it might go down. So predicting in advance what is going to happen. Then catalyzing entrepreneurial activity. So if you're doing any kind of a business, so you will know whether there is a demand. For example, today you're going to start up a new business of umbrellas. So you know there is a demand for umbrellas in both summer season as well as rainy season. So the first 8 months of uh, uh, your trade will be effective because you know there is a demand. So you're catalyzing your entrepreneurial activity. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to start up a business in making umbrellas, so you know how to create demand, when to create demand. The same if you're doing a jerkins or pullovers. So rainy season as well as you have the winter season where you will use the pullovers. So your entrepreneurial activities can also be catalyzed. Increase savings and investment in long run. Now, what will happen? I know due to some economical or political changes, there might come a decrease in the any activity. So, what you're doing is for the long term, you're making a best investment. So as I told you, now in every season you cannot grow all the crops. There are seasonal crops that you're going to grow. So based on the season, what you do is you're going to do more and more of savings at that point of time. Maybe you're taking an advance. Maybe you're growing the crop for them. You're going to sell that item or the underlying asset for them over a period of time. For that period, you're going to charge. So what happened? You're increasing the saving and investment in the long run. Okay. This is the need for your derivatives. So this is one of the situation. Okay. Okay. So what you're going to see in this situation is you will just think, will it rain? Yeah. Will it rain? If it rain, where can I harvest? Will I get money? Can I survive? These are the questions of a farmers who's having. So what will happen here is these are the output you're seeing towards your left hand side. This is the output, but this is the input that a individual person will process. The same thing will happen to us also. If I start this business, will it run? Will I get a profit out of it? Will the products be sold? Can I survive in the market? There are many competitors in the market. How will I survive? Is the question that will be arising in your mind when you're starting up a business or you're doing any entrepreneurial activities. So here what will happen is the same thing, a kind of a situation you'll be thinking. Uh, Here what is happening is you have a situation here, one is the farmer, the other one is the person who's buying it. That is the industry who's going to buy. For example, if you wanted to grow mangoes, now this is a mango season, everybody knows, so we're growing the mangoes. So before the summer starts in the month of December itself, you will go to a concerned farmer and tell that I want 30 or 200 kgs of mangoes in month of April. So what will you do? In the month of April, if you want mangoes. So what will be the prices? So from the point of a businessman, what will be the price of the mangoes? Will it increase or decrease at that point of time? If I buy now for this price, will I gain a profit? Can I survive in the market? So these are the thoughts that this person is having from the business point of view. But the same thing, we just see the previous slide. The farmer's point of view is, will it rain properly this time so that I can grow my crops properly? Can I harvest on time? As I told, the deadline is April. So these both the industries and the farmer is having a contract that he is ready to give 200 kgs of mangoes and he is ready to receive 200 kgs of mangoes. So for both the parties, they are having the risk associated with. Okay. Then they will have a contract, and once the contract is set, then they are happy. So it is decided the price or the let's decide the price for the harvest. So now what will happen is a two-person, as I told you, I gave the situation of a business point of view as well as the farmer point of view. So now the industry or the business person is coming and approaching the farmer, telling at the time of harvest what should can we decide the price. Maybe now you have different situations where you can go about it. That will go in detail in coming slides. So here what will happen is they are deciding. Why do they decide the price prior? Because in case at the time of April, if we don't get a proper production, a continuous production of 200 kgs of mangoes at that point of time, the business person or that business will go down. He will not gain any profit. The other competitors would have come to this farmer and who would have taken those mangoes. So he will not be getting any mangoes. So what will he do is this is how he is trying to make an agreement. This is over the counter exchange. It is directly between the two parties. Okay. This is your over the counter exchange. No uncertainties, prices are decided now. You have no problem, happiness, and you have profit as well as you are survived. Now you will think, yes, I've survived to both the sides. Now, according to the regulations, what they're trying to tell us, a security is derived from the debt instrument like share, loan, whether secure or unsecured, risk instrument or the contract for the difference of any other form of security. So contract which derives its value from the prices or the index price of an underlying security. So underlying security in the sense or underlying assets, you're going to derive the value. So for example, if it's a mango, there is a benchmark for everything that how much you can value for a mango. When you're buying in lot, how much you can buy. When you're buying an individual for per kg, how much you have to pay. So we all know that. So based on that indices, you have to price index of the price you have to. For example, if I tell you now we have Coke, Pepsi, Thumbs Up, Miranda, Fanta, all these are the soft drinks that we have. Have you ever noticed the prices of these will be almost similar, 1 or 2 rupees plus or minus, not more than that, because for each product there is a benchmark where you can fix the price. You cannot fix more than that, or you cannot fix less than that. There is a benchmark. So maybe the range they would have given 1 or 2 less or 1 or 2 minus. So based on that is where your prices are decided. Why do derivative exist? One is for hedging and one is for speculation. What is the difference between hedging and speculation? Hedging is nothing but you are ready to take the risk. You're ready to hedge the risk. You're ready to accept what it comes. Speculation, you're going to predict what is going to happen. Okay. Hedging, today the price is 100, tomorrow the price is 300. Even if it is going down, you're ready to accept the risk. Even if it is going more, you're ready to accept the risk. This is hedging. Speculation is something which you're going to predict in prayer. Today, if I invest 100 rupees, will I get a profit of 300? You are speculating. Yes, I might get. I will get. Only based on speculation is where you're going to invest in certain places or buy certain kind of an underlying asset. So who are the traders? There are three persons that is involved, three types of traders that is involved. One is hedger, speculator, and arbitrator. So hedger is someone who faces the risk associated, as I told you, with the price movements of an asset. Speculator who enters the future market to pursue a profit, accepting the risk endeavors. Okay. And arbitrageurs simultaneously they will do the transaction, two markets. Okay, one is involved in making profit and mispricing. Arbitrageurs also, like, he will buy for the low price and sell in the high price. In the same, a person who's buy and sell simultaneously is called an arbitrator. So he's ready to accept the risk, or these are the that is he's ready to accept the risk that is associated. Maybe sometimes he's buying for example, the cost of an apple that we will just take a simple example so that you will understand. He will take we will give two situations. Okay, for one situation is you're buying an apple for 30 rupees per apple. Okay, and if you're selling it for I will buy from one person and immediately I'm selling it for the other person. Okay, so what will happen is I'm buying for 35, I'm selling it for 40, I'm making a profit simultaneously. So I become an arbitrator. The second situation is I buy the product uh, for very high price, that is for 40 rupees or 45 rupees per apple. But by the time I do the next transaction, the value of the apple will be reduced. That is 35 or 30. So what happens at that point of time? He has to accept the risk. Next, who are speculators, hedgers, and arbitrators? So actually, speculators will provide the market liquidity. So whereas hedgers provide the economic balance, and arbitrators provide both liquidity and depth of the market. So underlying asset could be financial assets such as currency, stocks, market indices. Okay. Arbitrators involves in marketing from relative mispricing. Okay, this is all about the introduction about your derivatives, how it is working, who are the players in your derivative markets, what is the situation that is arising from your from the farmer point of view and the business point of view, how they come to a conclusion that whether they will have a proper pricing strategies, everything. So the upcoming will be video about what are the various types of derivatives, how they will trade, in which all form they will trade. Okay, thank you.